with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omad with the and if you can't say Omad with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. Today, on the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, on this glorious, beautiful, even though it's cloudy, over here on the East Coast, Philly, stand up all day. Philadelphia Eagles, y'all already know how we do. We are talking about, by the way, it's the 16th of the month, March 16th. So we zooming on by. We are talking about so close to them that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. So close to them that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. Do you understand what I'm saying? Essentially, today we're going to talk about when you sleep next to somebody or sleep with somebody. You know, a lot of times we don't really think about what it takes to lay down with somebody. I'm not talking about doing it to somebody. I'm not talking about having sex with somebody. There are physical implications that come from sleeping around or sleeping with somebody or whatever. There may be trust issues that come with that and all of that. But when you think about when you fall asleep around somebody, when you may have sex with them, but you may also sleep with them for the night. Y'all spending the night. It's not as easy for everybody as it is for some people. For some people, spending the night with somebody new can really be uncomfortable. Because when you are asleep, you are vulnerable. When you sleep, you can't protect yourself. When you sleep, you can't hide the things that you do. You can't hide some of your health issues. They come out when you're asleep. So if you're incontinent, guess what? It comes out when you're asleep. So, you might be 30, 40, 50 years old and you pee in the bed. Guess what? That might keep you from sleeping all night long when you sleep with somebody else. There may be a reason that you choose to sleep by yourself or to get out of Dodge when it's time to sleep. Now, when you think about sleeping with somebody else, you probably, when you think about sleeping with somebody, you're probably thinking along the lines of, well, this is the person that I'm going to be with. I don't sleep around. I don't just sleep with anybody. That doesn't mean that there aren't trust issues that might come to the forefront when you think about what it takes to fall asleep around somebody. You're vulnerable. You're open. You are a sitting duck target when you fall asleep around somebody. So it would be a good practice to make sure that whenever you fall asleep around somebody, that they are a person that you could trust for you to be all right when you fall asleep around them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you underdig? Do you feel what I'm talking about? So when you really think about it, so close to somebody that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. If you're curious about why I titled it like that, because if you're the type of person that prays before you go to sleep, if you're sleeping with somebody, there's a good chance they're going to hear you. Anything except for a silent prayer, whereas you do your prayers in your head. If you're the type of person that says your prayers out loud, even if you whisper them, when it's quiet in a room, shout out to everybody who goes to sleep with the TV on or the radio or music playing or something like that, because it's a good way to hide certain things. But that's what I'm talking about also. If you don't trust a person to hear you talk to God, or if you're the type of person that talks in your sleep and you know it, and you're insecure about that, if you feel some kind of way about it, yeah, you might feel some kind of way about falling asleep in front of somebody or sleeping with somebody. And we don't even want to talk about when you're sleeping in somebody else's bed versus your own. Not that there aren't people who aren't comfortable in their own bed, but if your home base is the best place for you to get some rest, or if you're stressed out so much you don't even get no rest at the crib, that's one thing. But if you're sleeping at somebody else's house, so you don't know the sounds that are coming from their crib, there might be sounds outside that you're hearing, and they strange sounds to you, so you feeling some kind of way, like, yo, I think I just heard a roach piss on a piece of cotton. On your dirty ass rugs, I think I heard a roach. What's that? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They ain't nothing but Terrence. Terrence, who's Terrence? Terrence is my fit. Don't worry about it. That's Terrence. That's Terrence. That's Terrence. So that's what we talking about today, and a whole lot more. We gonna really get into this. So, sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit late. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, but it was necessary. I had things I had to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the intro a little bit late. Sometimes you gotta do your intro a little bit late. Let me see. Get this situated. I haven't practiced the beat, but I don't practice any of them. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But I normally make a video of it when I do. So let's get it popping, y'all. Yeah. 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 Urban therapy with some baby. Yeah. Let's get it popping. Word. Hit the like button, y'all. Don't front on me. Yeah. Urban therapy with some baby. Grown woman, don't try me. TK, right? I see you in my side. What, yo? Double D's. I see. Yo, hit the like button for me. We making sure this thing gets off. It's never soft. It's gonna be alright. We do it weekends, day, not night. Yeah. We are ready and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. And everything is going to be all right. And everything is going to work out okay. Glad y'all are here with me. So we gonna listen and we gonna have a talk today. What up, y'all? What's good? Clayton Ferris. What's good? What's good? Clayton Ferris said, "Tell a story why you play." Shoot, if I would have read that, maybe I could have. But then again, maybe I couldn't. I've been perpetrating the fraud of being a drummer. Y'all know I ain't a real drummer, but I bet you I'ma still play. See, that's the way I look at life. Like, I don't care what I can do. Watch me do it. So, what do y'all think about it? So close to them that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. So close to them that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. What do you know? What do you know? You know what I mean? When I thought about the premise of this topic, when I really thought about how deep this shit goes, you know what I mean? I've known people who would not fall asleep or would not sleep over people's houses for some of the reasons that I outlined. Trust is an issue with animals. You know, I've read and heard that when a cat that lives with you or a cat that is around you, they will only expose their stomach, their belly, when they are safe with you, when they feel totally safe with you. Because, animals out in the wild, if they are out there with they legs up and they belly out and whatever, they are ripe prey. They are ripe prey for animals that will eat them, that will harm them, that will attack them, that will end their lives. So in order for a cat to, roll over, look all tired, eyes closed, you know how cats do. They just like, oh, hold on. Speaking of that, hold on. I can plug my mic in now. Yeah, we sounding different now. We different now. Yeah, we ain't the same now. We different now. Yeah, we just see. I had to unplug the mic in the beginning of the show to make sure that I didn't make another gaffe. Y'all know I've been known to start the show sometimes thinking that the mic is plugged in, and I'm steady going on and on and on and on. And trust me, that's when I've said some of the flyest shit, and y'all ain't hear none of it. So I wanted to make sure that no matter what, that y'all would hear what's going on. Kim's Wims, what's good, ma? It's good to see me some you. But yeah, like a cat, the animals out in the wild know how to protect themselves. And they only will allow themselves to be vulnerable or put themselves in a position where they could, have their guard down when it's only safe enough. But human beings do the same thing. We do the same things. We're just not always conscious of it. When you are asleep, when you sleep with somebody, and we ain't talking about STDs and all of that, because that's your issue. That's the cookie cutter shit. We already know that, you have random unprotected sex. We already know what it's hitting for with that. Some of y'all act like y'all don't know, but we know what that's hitting for. But what about the other things, the psychological things, the things that mean a lot to you, the things that will literally keep you up at night after night after night, and dealing with somebody that you know that you can't trust, but that is close to you, or when you know that your secrets may come out at times when you are unable to keep them, such as when you sleep. Have you ever slept with somebody new and you found out that they snore like a fucking diesel engine? Forget about a chainsaw. They snore like a diesel engine. Now, they may have been beautiful or handsome or well put together and all of that, but you found out that when they go to sleep, they are ugly. And we just talking about noise pollution. We ain't talking about the way they look. We can get it. We're going to get into that too. But when you sleep with somebody and they sound like a straight, like you thinking like, wait a minute, wait. Does this train run by electricity or coal?
like you ever snore? I mean, you ever sleep with somebody or hear somebody sleep around you and they snore so loud you think that they playing around? You think that they like, yo, stop playing, man. You ain't sleep. And they are. And they sleep. And you wonder, like, how are you that comfortable sleeping knowing that you sound like that? Well, they might have been drunk when they fell asleep. And that will take away a lot of your inhibitions. That will take away a lot of your inhibitions. Shout out to all of my people out there that have sinus conditions, respiratory conditions, and may have to use the CPAP machine. Shout out to all of y'all. You know, it's something that's not of your control and of your control at the same time. I'm not trying to diss, but you know, if you know that you need a CPAP machine, sleeping with somebody new is an issue for you. Because you need to take that machine. You fuck around and die in their bed. Hey, man. You mess around and cause a catastrophe in their bed. So you would think that somebody who has to use a CPAP machine would be very careful about who they invite into their bedroom or whose bedroom that they go into because they were invited. So close to them that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. We're going to get into it. So close to them that you can hear their prayers go unanswered. What are we talking about? All right. I was going to put up this poll question and I was going to make it a little bit easier, but you know, I'm going to take the high road today. I'm not looking for no hard answers. The poll question for the show is it hard for you to fall asleep around someone new? That's it. I ain't going to go all deep today. Is it hard for you to fall asleep around somebody new? And you know, this is not something that we always talk about. In general conversation, this may never come up. Because sleeping with somebody is a personal issue. And a lot of times when you say sleeping with somebody, you're talking about doing the nasty, you know, putting your thing in them. You know what I mean? Giving up some coochie, pulling panties to the side. And it's funny because y'all wasn't asleep. Y'all was very much awake. One of y'all or both of y'all might have been asleep afterwards if it warranted that. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? A lot of times one person might fall asleep and the other person is up like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? This thing, you know what I mean? About to grab this toy out the drawer over here and get a little bit. But anyway, yeah. Is it hard for you to fall asleep around somebody new? It's not always a slam dunk. Okay. Now normally when the phone rings before I even talk about the number, it's normally a spam or crank call, but not this time. Let's rock.
You have a call from.
Yeah. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind this afternoon? What's good? No. You got to turn your device down in the background. I just heard myself. You gotta mute that.
Far away from it because I can't find a remote.
You can't find a remote. You gotta find something because I ain't gonna be talking and hearing myself talk in real time. I might not like my voice. You know how people don't like the way they sound on a recording.
Can you still hear it?
No, you good.
Okay. The voice sounds nice, by the way. I don't want my name repeated.
Okay.
Okay. Because I'm talking about my past situation. I have been in this situation where I have had a significant other fall asleep next to me, and he did snore. But it didn't bother me because he sounded like he was in peace.
He sounded like he, or like,
no, or it sounded like he was in peace.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's good then, right?
Yeah, he was in peace, And I did have, trust. And I was like, what the hell? He's sleeping good. I'm supposed to sleep good myself. But I wasn't all the way asleep because I noticed he only went to the bathroom one time.
So
And
what?
I'm like,
Oh wait.
yeah, he only went to the bathroom one time. I thought that was unusual because I go at least 2 times.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
his
I was
kidney
like,
situation might have been
yeah,
set up different. His kidney
yeah.
situation might have been set up different.
I just thought it was good.
It is. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Wait. You thought what was good?
I thought it was good that he didn't go to the bathroom like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure we got it right.
I was on my journey because I'm slowly being delivered off of soda because that's one of my things that I love, but it don't love me, so I had to cut down on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I never heard his prayers go unanswered or nothing. He never talked in his sleep. He just sounded real peaceful. And by the way, when he was with me, he did drink, but not like that.
Okay.
So that's my experience of that. And I thought about if I wanted to deal with anybody snoring because I know I snore. I know I snore for a fact because I woke myself up snoring.
Okay. So, all right. So when you sleep around somebody new, or sleep no, when you sleep with somebody new, and we can say either or. How long would you say that it takes you to be able to sleep well? Like sleep good and comfortably, like, yo, I can actually get some sleep.
I don't know. I haven't slept with nobody new besides him.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man that you're talking about. Sometimes when you spend the night over somebody's house, or you sleep in a hotel, like let's say you and your cousin or somebody like that go on a trip and y'all have to stay in a hotel tonight. At night together or whatever. It might be hard for some people to fall asleep even in that situation. It doesn't necessarily always have to be
I sleep real good with my family because I know who the members of my family. I know who my family is, and I sleep comfortable around them.
okay.
Period.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Well, that's good because not everybody can do that. Some people, and I hate to say it, but it's a reality for some people. Some people,
Mm-hmm.
some people can't trust their family members. Some people feel like their family members might steal from them if they fall asleep. Their family members might hurt them when they fall asleep. Their family
Mm-hmm.
members might have put something in their food or they drink to make them fall asleep so they could do something bad to them. Yeah, it's a.
Well, I always travel my food and my stuff, so I have to trust God first. But these people ain't did nothing but love me and care for me. So I'm very trusting around them, and I believe they feel the same way about me.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all I wanted to call in about.
But no, I ain't finished with you because I got a question to ask you. I know that you I assume whoever you are that you are a spiritual person. So I assume that you probably pray every night before you go to bed.
Yes.
All right. So are you comfortable praying? Letting somebody hear your prayers.
Yes, it's my friend that yes. If I trust my friend, I have somebody new in my life, and I consider that he's my best friend. And matter of fact, I show him my prayers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, I will show
So
him my prayers. And because I'm very honest, when it comes to my prayers, I don't be trying to block nobody's blessings, like telling God what not to do for this person and nothing like that. Um, I pray, sincere prayers for people, whether I like them or not.
mhm.
And I only have people that I really, really trust until God showed me otherwise, and I'm calling in because I'm really kind of sad because I know you don't let nobody hurt my feelings, and I'm kind of hurt. And when I call in and talk about it, I feel better because I'm feeling that I'm talking amongst somebody that know me.
Uh,
So, because I ain't finna be sad over a female.
I could dig.
No, nah.
No. I know what you're saying, but like when you are asleep, you can't protect yourself. You are vulnerable. Somebody could hit you with something. They could harm you. They really could, or they could change something in your life that's going on without you knowing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could go through your phone, call people, text people that things that you wouldn't say. You know what I mean? Create a whole different narrative. They can make problems for you. So knowing who you can and can't sleep with is a big deal. You know what I mean? And everything I'm going to talk about today is probably going to, it's not even going to have anything to do with the elephant in the room, and that's the sexual part, because we should know that as adults. But I want to go back to this whole prayer thing, because a lot of people don't want to hear. A lot of people don't want people to hear what they talk to God about, because your relationship with God is personal. Even when
I don't want people to hear it, even when I'm by myself, in my comfortable place at my home, it's because I know there's monitoring spirits, and I can't stand monitoring spirits because all of them don't work for God. So when I don't want them to hear my prayer, I start speaking in the Holy Spirit. I got the Holy Spirit dwelling within me. And I caught that the same time I got baptized, and that gives me a lot of help when I don't feel like I don't trust myself in English to talk to God. I just start speaking in a different language where the enemy don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that person is in God and he's revealing to him what I am speaking on.
Okay. Well, see, the reason that I say that your relationship with God is personal, and there may be times when you don't want people to hear what you're talking to God about, is because you may have some things that you're dealing with personally that, trust is an issue when it comes to that too. Because you may be dealing with some sadness. You may be dealing with some anger. You may be dealing with something that has something to do with the person who's sleeping right next to you. You know what I mean? You may have some questions about something that they did, and you may need to pray to God in order to deliver yourself from that. And I'm not even trying to get all crazy, religious or whatever, but it is what it is. You only have to think about these things when you have a relationship with God and when you believe. You know what I mean? So I know when I was younger, I used to say my prayers out loud, and it wasn't no thing, and I didn't really even think about it until my uncle brought it to my attention, because my uncle came to stay with us. He was from Milwaukee. He came to stay with us in the summer of 1987, and he was in the room next to mine, and we didn't have a door between our rooms. We just had the sheet, back in the day, we didn't have a door. We just had the sheet. And he used to tell me, he told me, he said, yeah. Oh, you pray every night. And he told me what I prayed about. He used to hear it. And I didn't really realize that I was actually giving him some spiritual food too. Because he knew I didn't go to church, but he knew that I prayed. So when you pray to when somebody hears you pray, they know what's important to you. They know if you are getting what you've been praying for. So they know if your prayers are centered around health, or if they're centered around money, or if they're centered around security, or if they're centered around love, or if they're centered around family, or if they're centered around, or whatever it is. So that can be a very personal thing. But imagine you praying to God about, like, God, I'm worried about these credit cards that I've been running up, or I'm worried about somebody that an old flame that I ran into, and I really want to get back with them. If you pray to God about that and people hear you, well, the person that's sleeping next to you is going to be able to hear that, even if you whisper. So even if you say like, "Oh God, please let this motherfucker stop snoring so loud, and please help him to go see the doctor, because this don't make no damn sense. I'm sorry, God, I don't mean to curse, but God, you know I've been up for 36 hours because of him. Only time I can sleep is on my breaks at work, and I'm about to get in trouble for that. I got written up. And God, please, can you get my supervisor fired for writing me up? He or she know that I've been trying hard. This don't make no sense. Amen."
You know,
They gonna hear you.
I don't mean to get off the subject, but you know, I told you I cuss, but I don't cuss like all the time. But can I tell you a little something, a little nugget? Peter used to cuss all the time, but God still used him. You know, so you can't be hard on yourself when you pray to the Lord and you cuss. Just talk to him like you're talking to me, and God understands.
Well, it's funny you should bring that up, because it just so happens in my handy dandy Bible here, in the book of Genesis, we address the book of Genesis addresses how language was created right here, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see where I bookmarked it? You see where I bookmarked it? It's I bookmarked it right here, just in case y'all think I just be bullshitting. You know what I mean? I bookmarked it. So it says right here, in Genesis chapter 10, verse 11, it says, "The Lord came down to see we talking about the city of Babel. The Lord came down to see the city and the tower which mortals had built. And the Lord said, look, they are one people, and they all have one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. Nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language there, so they will not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there all over the face of the earth, and they left off the building of the city. Therefore it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. So God didn't want man all being able to according to the Bible, God didn't want all of man to be able to communicate with the same language, because he felt like, and this is just my interpretation, he felt like if God could, if there was only one language, then man would start to become arrogant. They would start to become empowered. They would start to think that they had more power than they had, and they would start to commit evil acts according to the Bible. So I'm saying all this to say that if God confused the language because of region, because of Asia, Africa, the Americas, Australia, and there's a lot of evidence to say that all of these areas were all in one landmass at one time in history. But regardless of all of that, if he created language, then he created the curse words that you speak. So I'm not sure if it offends God when you express yourself, as long as your heart is in the right place and you have professed that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. You'll be all right. So you can curse your ass off.
He's going to deliver you from that. You can't do it. He's going to do it, you know. I've seen him deliver my mother from a whole lot of things that she didn't even try to do. And he just delivered her from a whole lot of stuff. And I'm like, he could deliver me from, when I get angry, how to react and not cuss. I can't do it. I've seen it in the spirit where he showed me that I wasn't going to be cussing no more. This is going to be before he takes me up.
Yeah,
So I don't be hard on myself. I'm like, I talk to God like I talk to you.
I hear you. I hear you.
I can't be hard on myself like that. I don't, and I don't want to serve that kind of religion where I'm just, second guessing and always hard on my,
Yeah, I could dig it.
And I just wanted to tell you, I have experienced the snoring. I'm still going to go through the snoring because I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to be by myself. I do something. I don't know what I do, but I can handle it.
Okay, hold on just a second. Hold on just a second.
You have a call from.
All right, hold on a second. Stand down a minute. I'm Troy. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying. Caller with the last number is 1132.
Yeah, I have to have. It's a give and take. I have to handle something. God sees me and that person through.
Okay.
When it's my time to have somebody, God will, like I said, he'll see me through. That's snoring ain't nothing. I've never been through worse. So
I hear you. So
and as far as I hear prayers, as long as I don't hear another female, I'm all right.
Okay. But still, we normally pray to God because there's not just trouble in our lives because we can pray to God, and if he gives us, if he answers our prayers, or if he gives us the things that we pray for, we may be thankful to God. But not everybody is in the same kind of headspace. So some people may be acting like they've done everything themselves, or they've made everything happen for themselves. And then you find out that they giving all glory to God on the low, but in front of everybody else, they acting like they omnipotent, like they got it going on.
I call those people closet Christians. They're ashamed of God. They don't want nobody else to know, but they giving God glory behind the scenes. I call closet Christian. I'm not a closet Christian because God says you deny me in front of people. Jesus said, if you deny me in front of people, he's going to deny me in front of his Father, and I ain't trying to hear that.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you to do something right now, and if you're uncomfortable with it, you don't have to do it. But if you do it, I promise you that the Lord will bless you.
Oh. Okay.
So say your prayers. Say your prayers that you pray before that you do before you go to bed.
Okay. My urgent prayer in this game that I want manifesting healing in my body. And I did everything God told me to do. Basically, I working there. I've been eating right. I've been exercising. I done lost the weight. All I want to do is, I really want to go into remission, or even if not just remission, I just want to be healed. And that's it.
Okay. No, that's a good prayer. It really is. That it really is. And I'm going to tell you mine. And because mine is easy, I got it so memorized. But sometimes when I say it outside of when I'm going to sleep, sometimes it gets hard to remember. But I say, God, thank you for giving me the opportunity to live another day. And then giving me the opportunity, thank you for the life, the love, the liberty, the justice, the guidance, the understanding that I'm able to give to as well as receive from each and every one of my loved ones. And then I get into, my personal prayers for certain people. So this is the cookie cutter list that's been going on. I think I cut it off in 1997 after my youngest brother was born. So it goes, God bless Shel Medina Gamel. Wait a minute. Shel Medina, Ahmed Gamel Hafi, Eric Victor, Sarah, PJ Rockbo, Tommy Khalid, Michelle, Terrence, Kalima, Wakita, Anwar, Summer, Renee. So that's everybody. That's my oldest brother. Well, my oldest sister. Then my oldest brother is in there, who's actually older than my oldest sister, all the way down to my youngest niece. So and then I got to do a separate prayer for everybody who came along in my life that I care about after that. So they get a non-biological prayer. So that's how that goes. But like I said, I used to say it out loud. Now I don't say it out loud anymore, but sometimes but I mouth it. And I've always wondered, like, when I'm laying down, when I've slept with somebody, I've always wondered, like, can they hear me? Like, because I'm mouthing it. And when you mouth, sometimes you think that you are not saying something out loud and people can hear you. So they might have heard, like,
I mean, you know what? I'm not laughing at what you were saying. I understand what you're saying, but it takes me back to my stepfather and my mother. And at the time, I didn't have God with me. I knew of God, and I didn't have God with me. I didn't know about the Holy Spirit. Stepfather would start playing in tongues while he was laying with my mama. It scared the heck out of me. I said, "Why you ain't scared?" I ain't scared because whatever he said the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So
but I understand where the topic coming from now, but I wasn't cool with that because I didn't know who God was, but I didn't know nothing about the Holy Spirit of God. I know I was scared for me and my mom.
Yeah, I listen, this whole, like I said, like I was saying in the beginning of the show, sleeping with somebody is not a small thing. I mean, people can treat it like it ain't nothing, but you should never really lay your head down in a place that isn't safe. But you never really know how safe a place is until you can go to sleep and wake up and know that everything is all right consistently. Right. I'm not just talking about one time.
People should become friends, really friends, if they're trying to make a connection or they are attracted to each other. You have to be friends first before you take that next step, and you will know each other real good.
Yeah, but friends hurt people with. Listen, you know how you probably seen videos or pictures of people who passed out drunk in front of their friends, and their friends put makeup on them, and you know what I mean, and put different clothes on them. And I mean, it might be funny to some people, but when you really think about it, you're not safe sleeping around those kinds of friends. Yeah. I'm just saying, they may not have harmed you, but they may have humiliated you. You know what I mean? Yeah. They made you were not 100% safe while you were asleep because they took advantage of the fact that you were asleep when they were around. And even though they were drunk too, they made a spectacle of you while you were asleep. Yeah. Now, are you going to feel comfortable passing out in front of them again, or drinking or drinking excessively around them? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. But that could become an issue one day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because you don't know. You don't know. I remember. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that me and my brother went over these chicks' cribs. This was all the way back in 1995. We went over these chicks' cribs, and I was talking to one, and I was putting him on with her friend. And we went over there to play spades. So we playing spades. Me and my brother, we breaking their ass. We beating the shit out of them. And they was drinking. I think the reason that they was drinking, I think we was drinking for spades. Yo, Troy, you got background noise. Oh, that's you, Stace? I'm a caller? Yeah, it gotta go. It got it.
Yeah, I accept your apology. It's cool.
I do apologize, my brother. I do apologize. I
know it's always me at times.
But it hasn't been lately, and trust me, it hasn't gone unnoticed. So you know what I mean, a thousand apologies, a thousand pardons. But like I said, we went over their crib, and the girl got real drunk. They lost the game of spades, so they had to drink. So she got real drunk, started throwing up, and she was like null and void. She evidently wasn't a drinker, and I don't think she had a lot to eat or whatever, but she was all, so her girlfriend is trying to work with her, whatever, and we trying to help her too. Like, yo, you know what I mean? We ain't mean to get you all drunk like that. You know what I'm saying? So any other activities was already blown or whatever. But so she was passed out in the bathroom. She threw up in the bathroom, missed the toilet, threw up all over the floor. The shit, if you've ever smelled somebody's throw up, that shit stink like hell. You know what I mean? So she all in it. She had to get her clothes changed and all of that. So her friend took care of her that night. And the next day, I was like, yo, you was really messed up the next day. So I started playing around with it. I was like, yeah, but yeah, you was good enough to do that thing. She was like, really? I said, yeah, man, I might not want you to get that drunk again, but maybe a little like close to it, because that thing was fire. And I was just playing around with her. And she was like, wow, like I don't even know if I enjoyed it or if you enjoyed it. I was like, nah, you was a superstar. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. You know what I mean? If in a different situation, I would have been ready to throw a couple of dollars, you know, but I didn't want to disrespect or have you throw up on the money. So, I just left it there. And I could hear it over the phone. Her face was red. She was totally ashamed of herself. And I said, nah, man, I ain't do nothing like that. I mean, come on, what you think this is? You know what I'm saying? I'm too fly to have to date rape somebody. You know what I mean? You gonna throw me the ass sooner or later. I ain't gotta do that. But she was like, but she didn't know. She didn't know what she did. Somewhere along the time when she was drinking, she blacked out. She don't remember throwing up and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So luckily for her, she was able, even though she wasn't getting no good sleep, luckily she was around people that she was comfortable with. Because we at her house. Suppose we was some thieving ass niggas and stole dumb shit. Oh yeah, well, she got a bottle of liquor over here. We gonna take that. I know people who do it. Oh look, there's some money over here. I'm take that. Oh look, she got a snow globe. I ain't never seen a snow. I'm taking that. You just never know. So she got lucky, but that was real luck. Because me and my brother, we ain't into no nut ass shit like that. But she ain't know that.
That's the reason why before I got saved, I never drunk like that. Because when I turned 21, I got drunk and I passed out. Did nobody help me? The only person that helped me was my cousin and my stepdad. And I threw up everywhere. My mom was like, no, because you going to learn. I was like, that's wrong because I look after you. So I know my limits. So I never got toe up like that. I know what takes me where I need to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you'll find out who's with you and who ain't with you, even around family.
Listen, man, falling asleep around somebody ain't after this show, everybody look at falling asleep around somebody or with somebody in a different kind of way. But these are some of the things that you have to take into consideration. And we probably have all been in situations where we had to take these things into consideration and maybe even more. I touched on that little date rape thing. That has happened to a lot of people. Over some alcohol or some something that somebody might have put in a drink or something like that. Mm-hmm. You just never know. So
like I say, I passed out twice. That's one when I was drinking, and I passed out when I had my accident. I had passed out and I wasn't even drinking. That was because of me not drinking enough water. And that was God saving my life, because when I had that accident, I did not want to go to the hospital. I came straight home. And I wanted to sleep there. Somehow I ended up on the floor and didn't know I was on the floor. Mm-hmm. And so that was God, still saving me, because I wouldn't have never knew both of my arms was broke.
Wow. Both of your arms was broke?
Both. When I had that accident, both of my arms was broke. And you can't tell me God ain't for me or ain't with me. And then I only had to wear a sling. I didn't have to wear a cast. But that was the first time I always thought you blacked out when you be drinking and stuff. I'm like, whoa, I don't like this stuff.
Nah, some people pass out because of shock. Like you could be so afraid of something that you could pass out. You know,
Yeah,
like
but they said I was dehydrated. And
yeah.
I be drinking water like it ain't nothing. I love water so much because I don't even want to pass out like that, you know. But drinking, I learned at 21. Now, if you want to keep going and doing that and keep doing it, you ain't learned your lesson. Some people learn.
Mm-hmm.
I learned my lesson. I only messed up 3 times in my life. I asked God to give me 3 chances. You know, normally I mess up twice. I don't mess up with the same lesson over and over and over again. I'm at an age now, I can kind of like put money on it that I don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, that's good for you because I'd have made the same mistake so many times. I stopped counting because I ain't like the way the numbers was looking.
All you gotta do is keep on. Like I said, all you gotta do is keep on saying that prayer. He'll get it. He'll get you together. So,
I know that part. But
you can't give up on yourself.
listen, I don't know if you ever been so embarrassed about something that you was scared to tell God about it. Like, listen, Lord, look, I know you seen it. You gonna make me say this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to talk about it, God. Just deliver me from that shit. Like I mean, fix it.
I have been embarrassed a lot to tell God out loud. Sometimes I just say it in my mind or I write down on paper. You know, writing is really good prayer too. You know, it ain't just talking out the mouth. You can write it down, a prayer, and hear even better. But I have been, like I said, I'm human. And I have been embarrassed to go to God, but I don't stop going.
Mm-hmm. No, you should never stop going.
Now, see, the day I stopped going to God and stopped doing, and I started doing things in my own thing, it wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't be him, it would be me, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. This is with this healing. This healing will humble you. This sickness will humble you.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm glad I'm not bitter and I'm not mad. And some people that have sicknesses and when they come out on TV or with the internet start cussing and fussing and expecting people to effort with them, I understand it. I don't judge it at all. To me, I look at it as freedom because they're angry. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get like that. I don't want to use that kind of anger because I'll make an ass out of myself. Not saying that they're an ass, but I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I have to have a connection land with somebody so I can trust them so I can go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's doable. If God did it once, he'll do it again.
I totally agree. All things come with patience, and hopefully he can give us that. My man Troy, what's good?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man. I put in the post when you was reading the Bible. I was like, wow, we going through Bible study on the go-getterism. Okay.
This the Urban Therapy with Sun Show.
I love that.
This the Urban Therapy with Sun Show.
You know what I mean?
But it's funny.
You know, man, let me tell you something, man. You got a beautiful spirit, man. I love you for some of the topics you come up on. Matter of fact, all of the topics you come up on. You know, so I mean, you know, and who we speaking to on the phone?
I can't say her name because she's anonymous. Her name, you can call her Ann.
Ann, how you doing, Ann?
Hi.
Yeah, but the whole thing about it is that if I'm sleeping around somebody, I have to be comfortable around that person. You know, because I'm going to be uncomfortable to the point where I'm going to toss and turn. I mean, I rarely sleep real hard anyway. You know, but if I'm sleeping around a person, I have to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I can pray, I find myself, because I say when it comes to prayer, I do inner prayers within myself, but I find myself as I get older to be praying for other people out loud with them while holding their hands.
Okay.
I think that when you're younger, you take God for granted because you think that you're invincible. You think that you're supposed to be here on this planet, and you don't understand the importance of God. I think that as you get older, you understand, as you start maturing and you start having an understanding of your spirituality, you start understanding who God really is. Some people, I'm not saying all people, I'm just saying that some people don't understand that as a youngin'. Like within yourself, you said you understood that as a young person. A lot of people don't understand that as a young person. You know, I know in the beginning stages, my mom made sure we went to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't go outside.
I hear that.
You didn't go to church, you didn't go outside.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick. How old were you the first time you spent the night with a female?
Oh,
the whole night. Yeah, when you laid in bed from the night to the morning. How old were you the first time you spent the night with a woman?
18.
Okay. So what was going through your mind at the time?
Well, to allow myself to that was the night I lost my virginity.
Okay. Well, you know what show you on. I don't know why I don't even know why you hesitated. Like, you know where you at, right?
Yes, I can talk. I speak my truth.
All right.
I speak my truth. That was the night I lost my virginity. And at that point in time, it was like I was high-fiving my spiritual self. My spirit was high-fiving. Like, yes, you did it.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You made it all the way through high school without having sex. You.
Well, let me break it down to you. Let me help you out. You gotta realize something. When you have close friends, but you don't have close brothers, you got a brother that's mainly focused on himself, which is the older brother. You got another brother that's focused on school and his own spirituality, because my middle brother is a pastor now. And you have a sister that's doing her thing. So the two oldest is doing their thing, and the middle one is doing his thing. You don't have nobody to guide you through, look, I see a girl in the house. Mm-hmm. Or if that's this, or to teach you about females, or teach you, or sit up here and tell you, look, you can go in my room. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that there wasn't no groping and touching and sneaking and going over playgrounds at nighttime and stuff like that, but there wasn't no type of penetration on that type of part.
Okay, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
So when even with my friends, when they was doing their thing, they only had their thing to do. Everybody always has their thing. They're not thinking about. Like, I'm pretty sure if son was my boy back in the day, I lost my virginity maybe at 15, 16, because he'd be like, yo, come on over to the crib. I got a couple friends over. You know what I mean?
No, we'd have went over my brother's crib.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I had to sneak around at the crib. I was respectful of my mom's house. I was still going to do it. I was going to do it, but I was respectful. Like, I waited until they went to sleep.
I was respectful of my mom's house, but you always think that the brothers will be like, look, mom's asleep. I mean, fuck that. You got the girl, come on, bring her over. Bring her over and I got you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't have them type of brothers. You know, I didn't have, my sister is my sister, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, you lose it when it's ready to be lost, that's what happens.
I agree.
The groping and everything, the touching, feeling. I mean, the people say the dirtiest part of your body is I think your mouth, because the mouth can spill out this, that, and other. No, the dirtiest part of your body is your fingers and your hands, because the things you do with your fingers, bro.
Oh no! Yeah, that mouth dirtier than that. Trust. That mouth dirty. See, the thing is, you conscious of the things you've touched. Your mouth. You don't really think about the things you put in your mouth. You don't know where they been.
Shut up. Shut the hell up.
Okay.
Shut
All
up.
right. Anyway, let me ask you this. All right, because when the reason that I asked you how old you were the first time you slept with a woman is because first of all, I want to know, did you actually get any sleep? Y'all
Not really,
spent the
because
night.
I honestly think that I didn't get any sleep because I was overly anxious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you overly anxious, and you know, you happy, but yet you suspect. You asking yourself, "Damn, is this really happening?"
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's with the person that you wanted to be with, it's like somewhat your body is in shock
Mm-hmm.
because it's with the person that you wanted it to be with. If it was just with anybody, you might have been happy, but you wouldn't be as happy as you was high-fiving yourself because it was just with the person that you wanted to be with.
Okay. So all right. So let me ask you this. So that night that y'all spent the night, how much, like, what was the time frame between the time that y'all actually got into bed to when y'all got up for the next day?
Well, let me see. You got in the bed at about, because if I remember so much vividly, I was in the house chilling. I'm just going to do a brief synopsis, a real quick synopsis. I was in the house. I was doing homework for Tuesday because it was Columbus Day was the next day. So it was Super Sunday, no school Monday. The night before that, I went to the club. I had no money, so she came, took me out to Rivet. Remember Rivet?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yo, go ahead with that, man. Anyway, just tell the story. Just tell the story.
Took me to Rivet. And then when her boyfriend didn't answer the phone, because this was one of my crushes, and I love this girl. And then when her boyfriend didn't answer the phone, she wanted to go to the hotel, and I said I wasn't going to let you go to the hotel by herself, and that was just me being genuine. Went to the hotel with her, turned back around, talked to her. She was on the phone with her girlfriend. Turned back around, I'm in the bed looking at Sports Center. You didn't see, I remember all this shit.
Okay, so
looking at Sports Center, turned back around, she climbed over top of me, talking about, don't be scared. I said, don't be scared. Shit, that was it for me.
okay.
All night long. I was Lionel Richie.
Okay. All right, cool.
And then
So
I'd say about 5:30, 6 o'clock is when, you know, this was October 7th, so, you know, daylight savings time was over, so the sun really wasn't still up, so it was still nighttime.
okay. All right. So okay. So how many hours would you say that y'all were actually in the bed? Like, so
6-7 hours.
about
6-7 hours.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So you said that you didn't sleep that night. When
I slept, I give myself about an hour and a half to 2 hours sleep.
Yeah, but it probably wasn't like a quality sleep because you know I know you had a lot on your mind. All right, so
it was an unbelievable. It was a. I don't believe this is real sleep.
Mm-hmm. I understand. So how long after that would you say that you actually slept with somebody, like actually got some sleep?
After that night, or when I slept with somebody else?
No.
Or
I don't care who it is. When you actually can say
else,
that
I've never the time that I stayed with somebody and it was all night and I slept with somebody else and I got enough sleep. It was maybe about 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Okay. And how long ago? How long from that first time that you spent the night was it that you actually got some sleep? So, like, all right. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
It might have been maybe 4 or 5 years after that.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
because any other time, if I was with any other female, it was bam and you gotta go, or I was at her crib, I gotta go. It was never staying no night.
okay.
So if I was staying the night, if I stayed the night, if it was one time I stayed the night, I still remember that night, and I left early that morning. The only reason why I left early that morning is because I had to go to college the next day.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Your reality is your reality. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to audit it. I'm just trying to see.
No, I don't. Son, you know me, man. Me and you talk all the time, so I can sit on here. I can talk to the. I look at the go getterism podcast as family, so I'm going to speak my piece. I mean, then maybe they can tell me something I did wrong, did right.
No.
It's,
I'm because you when I'm listening to you tell your story, now I'm thinking like, when did I actually sleep? You know what I mean? I know that. Yeah, I'm like, this is actually a good ass question because
that's a good ass question.
You know what I mean? And it was definitely.
And I can also, my fault. And I can also tell you, there was a time that I slept with a girl all night, but I didn't get a good sleep because at the ones that I slept with all night, I wanted to be intimate with, but she wouldn't give me the intimacy.
Okay.
You know, and it was like, wow, why not? What's going on? But I slept with her all night. You know, so I got about a good maybe 3.5 to 4 hours sleep, but it wasn't comfortable sleep.
Yeah, because all night you try.
You trying, you making that attempt, and she grunting, no, stop, you know.
Yeah, that's corny as shit. Because she knew
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's corny. That is corny as hell. But you know, now you got me thinking. I was actually 19 before I actually slept with a woman for the first time.
But was it overnight though?
You know what? It was 18. It was 18, and then it was 19. Because the first time was I actually did sneak the joint in and slept in my bed at my mom's crib. And my sloppy ass, you know, got caught for that. Not at the time. Now hold on, not at the time. You know what I mean? After the fact, because like I said, I was sloppy. You know what I mean? I'll tell you that privately. You know what I mean? At another time. It's too much for this. This is too hot, even for my shit. This is too hot for TV. So, but yeah, so that was the first time I slept with a joint, and then the next time was when I first got my own crib, and so you know my girl used to spend the night on a regular basis. So
and that's when you can do this. That's when you can do the spank joke, the pat walk around naked around the house doing the pat.
Well, the thing is, we was together way before I moved out. Yeah, so we knew each other. She used to come over the crib in the morning before I went to college. I was in college, before I used to go to class, because I had afternoon classes instead of morning classes. So she would get her ass up coming from 24th and Montrose. She used to jump on.
I might know who it is.
You might.
I guarantee you I know what it is.
Okay, cool. So, you know, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, she used to jump on the regional rail and get off at Queen Lane Station, which was right around the crib. Right around the corner from the crib. And, you know, she was at my crib by no later than 8 a.m. Hot and ready. And I couldn't talk out of it. I used to be like, but babe, you know, it's early. She was like, shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting my fix.
She was the female version of a man.
She went to Drexel. She went to Drexel.
She was a female version of a man, though, because that's what we do. We don't give a fuck what time.
Well, no, the thing was, you know, when you a young girl, you be trying to lock your man down. You know the pressures that are out there. You know what I mean? She understood the assignment. She overstood the assignment. So she wasn't. It was a lot to that, but yeah. So you know, now you got me thinking about like actually being comfortable enough to sleep with somebody took longer than I was thinking about. By the time I got to college, I mean that's what all of us did. We sleeping in each other's dorms or whatever. You know what I mean? You know, sneaking people. You know, your roommate in the same dorm. You like, oh no, we ain't over here doing nothing till he go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, but
fucked up part is when your roommate hooked up with the girl that you wanted to talk to, and he having sex in the room with the girl you wanted to talk to.
Well, thankfully that never happened.
That happened to me.
Yeah. Well, most of my roommates was white.
Oh shit, mine was black.
Yeah. That happens when you're black. Especially if you go to a small school. You know what I mean?
The thing about it is, the funny thing about it that happened behind that was he got the girl pregnant and she put him through high hell. So when I did, the next time I talked to him like maybe 5-10 years later, he was still paying child support, and I clapped for him and I told him, thank you so much. Because you protected me from a headache. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, listen.
That wasn't just, at one point I was talking to a white girl while I was in college. And she didn't go to the college. Still remember her name, Kelly. She was thorough as shit. She the one turned me on the baby face.
Oh, wow, really? Oh,
the Whipple album, yeah.
Oh,
she turned me on the baby face.
She was one of them white girls.
Huh?
She was one of them white girls, huh?
Yeah, she turned me on the baby face. Used to pick me up. We used to go out to the club party. This was my skinny days, and I was balling. I went to college. I lost about maybe 45, 50 pounds. I was balling every day. Almost made it on the college basketball team, but I pulled away so I could focus on my studies. And everything was cool. One of my bulls took her away from me. Got her pregnant too, and she took him to child support, and he paid child support. I'm talking about he was a cop in Philly, and he was paying big time money to her. And I was like, see, that's what God do it. And I said to myself, she cheated on me with him, and I said the thing is that why would I deal with another white woman when I can just deal with a black girl that will do the same thing as this white girl?
Well, that's a perspective, but let me ask you this. When it came to sleeping with somebody, was trust ever an issue for you? Was it ever a concern?
It's not even so much as trust. Trust is more of the uncomfortability.
Okay.
It's more of being uncomfortable. Number one, like even when you stay in a hotel room, I don't care what hotel you staying at, you're still uncomfortable because you hear people walking down the halls, you hear doors unlocking, you're not in your comfortable spot. So even when you're in a hotel, you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can dig that.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So no matter where you're at, when you ask somebody, like if you're at a family member's house, you're still uncomfortable because you're not in your own surrounding. Even though you're in a family house and you can be comfortable, and they can make it as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. But the reason I asked you was trust an issue? Was trust ever an issue for you? Because
I've never had trust issue because my theory is this: just go back to your spirituality. Mm-hmm. My spirituality is that I'm covered. If I'm covered, and this is the way things is going to happen, that God is going to bring me home, then whatever happens, happens. I cannot live my life based on what's going to happen in this hotel room.
No. I'm not talking about. I'm not even talking about trust in that way. Like I said, when you sleep, when you're
talking about trust, do I trust that person? Oh yeah, I trust the person. Whoever I'm in there with, I trust him because if it's only just me and you, and money come up missing, then I know you took it.
I'm not even talking about that.
Break it down to me. What you talking about there?
All right. So trust goes in a lot of different directions, and it can go it can go in depths that you don't always think about on the surface until you have no choice to think about it. So when you trusting somebody with your property is one thing. We all kind of know about that, but trusting somebody with personal things about yourself is a whole different thing. You know what I mean? When you sleep with somebody, you can't hide your smell. You can't hide your level of hygiene. You can't hide what you actually look like. See, the
Here
things
you go.
like,
How you
like
look in the morning? Yeah.
well for women, especially nowadays, I could see that being a real issue because when you sleep with a man, I would imagine that if you're the type that wears a lot of makeup, he gonna see what you really look like finally. You know what I mean? At some point, that shit is gonna rub off. And if you wash up in the morning, if you take a shower in the morning, now if you get your your blown out twat ass up and just go home and wash up at home, that's one thing. But if you get washed, he gonna see what that weave is about. He gonna see what that makeup is about. He gonna see what you really look like and what your level of self-care really is. Because now it's unrehearsed. You done got stripped down. If you've been wearing bras to make your titties look bigger, he gonna see that. If you've been padding your ass, he gonna see that. If you've been doing if you've been wearing them waist trainer joints, you know what I mean? Them girdles that be squeezing the shit out of some women. He gonna see all of that. And you might
if you've been wearing booty pops.
Yeah. See all these things, he still ain't going nowhere.
He might not. He might not, but even if he don't,
every time comes, listen, everything is fine and dandy in the dark or in the semi-light. But when you see it in the morning and the light is beaming and you let it open the windows and things, you seen the movie Hollywood Show? I mean, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah.
When she start taking off everything.
Mm-hmm. But I'll put it in a different way. Even if he don't leave, you may not have wanted him to see or know what he saw and now knows. So it's not always about whether somebody stays or goes, because you've already made the decision of whether you want him to be there or not. But you may not have wanted him to see your journey. You may not have wanted him to see how the steps that you have to take in order to make yourself presentable to him and the rest of the world on a regular basis. You may not have been.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you and certain men are so focused on makeup and makeup. You don't know how that woman might not be secure without that makeup.
Right.
And that's her journey, and it's all right for her to wear that makeup. She got to be secure into wearing that makeup. You can't, finesse her to, take it off, and she might not be feeling, like.
There's nothing wrong
from the wig off to the makeup. You can't.
See whether something
about it. There's nothing. I'm not uncomfortable with a person who either you wear makeup. Because see, the thing about it is that what makes you comfortable about a person, we get attracted to the outer shell. The outer shell is what draws you in. What makes you comfortable with the person is the inner shell. It's the things that you talk about, the things that's relatable, the things that's understanding. The things that can get you to that point where you're able to come over that person's place, or she's able to come over your place, or you able to see her at a hotel. That's the comfortability part. So at the end of the day, you already done made the step of wanting to see her in a different way because you didn't talk to her. So the conversation led you to that part. So when you got to that part, all that other shit is monotonous. It don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
I'm going to say this. There is nothing more personal than your insecurity.
Yes, it is.
Because your insecurity is so your insecurity is so personal because you're not looking for reasons for it. You're not looking for judgment on it, and you're not looking for solutions all the time. You know what I mean? It is what it is until you are ready to relinquish it or do something different about it. But in the meantime, hold on. Let me just finish this.
Let me just ask you this one question. Can somebody make you insecure? Because the word insecure is a stretch. is insecure. The first words are in, and the security is within yourself. You have to protect yourself.
Hold on. No. Wait. I'm going to answer your question after I finish saying what I needed to say.
All right, thank you.
Because like I said, whether or not you are ready for somebody to know something that you don't want them to know is on you. You know, so whether something is embarrassing or not to the rest of the world is different than whether it's embarrassing to you. And even if you're not embarrassed about it, that doesn't mean you want some people to know certain things about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So hold on. I'm not done. Nope. I'm not finished. Because if I don't hammer this concept home, then I don't feel like I should have done this show. When you there might have been things that I'll take it out of the bedroom. I'll take it out of the home. There may be something that you do or have done that everybody might do. Animals may do it. The trees might do it. But you found it to be personal to yourself, and you didn't want anybody to see you do it. It could be picking your nose. It could be sneezing. It could be sneezing out loud. It could be a cough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you found whatever it was to be personal, and you didn't want anybody to see it, and they saw it, and you can't make them unsee it. It doesn't matter whether they tease you about it. It doesn't matter if they tell somebody else about it. You didn't want them to see it. It's the same way as if you wanted if it was Christmas time and you didn't want your kids to see the toys that they were going to get before Christmas. After they see it, you can't make them unsee it. It's out. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. But the bottom line is you did not want that to happen that way. And when you are asleep, you have to give certain things away that you might not have wanted to give away. You can't make them unknow it. You can't make them unsee it. It could be your makeup. It could be your weave. It could be your hygiene. It could be a mole. It could be a birthmark. It could be something else that the rest of the world does not get to see until they sleep with you. And even if somebody sleeps with you, you might still try to hide it, like snoring. You may be self-conscious and know that you snore and you don't want nobody to see, hear you snore. So for the last 3 years, you've been sleeping with this man or sleeping with this woman and you've been staying up every night. It is what it is. Now, as far as what your question was, as far as somebody making you insecure, you probably already had the insecurities in the first place, but somebody can exacerbate it. They can make it worse. Okay. You might have been a little insecure about it, and now they done came along and made it a big deal. You know, you may have started to get comfortable with it, and now they done reset your whole clock. You know what I'm saying? So now you might even start avoiding these people because of that shit. You know what I mean? Well,
ready to knock their asses out.
That ain't going to stop them from seeing what they saw. You know,
they don't know what you done been through when you was younger to build your self-esteem up. And to answer your question that the other gentleman said, I believe you can tear somebody else's self-esteem down. That's why they do it. You know, but you have to be strong. And you got to if that person is with you, you got to let that person know you need to chill on that. Because if you love me, you wouldn't do that to me. You know that pisses me off. You're going to end up by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't know that person, what that woman or what that man been through to where he or she is to have such strength, such self-esteem as a grown person. You don't know what kind of hell they've been through growing up, and they didn't give up. And a comedian said one time, you can't have low self-esteem because it's all self-esteem. Ain't nobody can give you low self. Yes, they can. Yes,
They can add to it. They can add to it. I do think that they can add to it. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can totally give it to you, but they can add to it. They can definitely add to it. And you can the same way as you can add to it yourself.
Yeah, I know what I've been through. I know what I've been through when I was younger. I know my mother kept me up good. I had the best clothes, the best silk shirts, the best leather dresses, the nice hairdos, the nice just dress fly as growing up. But other jealous bitches, excuse my language,
Go right here, let it out. Let it out.
Like I had to get validation from them. You know, I got validation from my mother's friends. They which I already knew. I knew I was, looking real nice and everything. But people act ugly, and they can say so many things so many times, and you can start feeling down on yourself. Mm-hmm. They don't know what you did to get blessed like you got blessed. True. And so. And these same people turn around. One time I was looking real nice, going to an Indian concert. And the same person that took me down, she was like, "Oh, you look nice." I said to myself, like she was, "Bitch, I don't need it coming from you. You don't say what you get to say."
Well,
you don't get to say I'm nice. You don't get to say I look nice after all these years you put me through my own hell.
I'll say this. You can control how you work on yourself, but you can't always control how people work against you. All right. So,
like I said, I hate to say it, but suicide running my family. Everybody ain't strong enough to handle that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody is a curse. It ain't nothing but a curse, and I come against it, and that's why I'm into this mental. The Bible don't talk about mental illness. And that's why I'm into it, and I'm studying it, and I'm praying against it. And, my cousin was fly as hell, but he went through the same thing I went through. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I hear you. All right.
What's wrong? You gonna get your judgment. I went through the same thing this man went through that's talking to you when he said at his dorm. Your own people. I got betrayed like that. That's why I don't trust a lot of people. That's why I don't double date no more. I go every me and him. Because shoot, they might end up together. You and the other person, you looking stupid.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But listen, nobody can control how you know
about yourself.
Well, no, I ain't gonna say that because people can control that. But nobody can control how you build yourself up. Unfortunately, nobody can control how you tear yourself down either, or you allow, or what you allow in or out. You have control over that.
I'm gonna give you just some insight about me, son. I don't give a fuck about how people outside my circle think about me. It's always the person that I deal with. It's always the person I deal with that I feel like. Even with my kids. I give a fuck about how my kids feel about me and how my wife feel about me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that takes a toll on you as a person when that person thinks of you as a negative person, and that's not even in your spirit. That's not even who you are. When you're so judgmental of another person, and you can't, and especially when you throwing stones through glass windows. Glass houses. You can't judge other people when your shit stink like hell. You cannot judge another person. I always believe in the fact that nobody can judge anybody but God.
That's it.
You understand what I'm saying? And forgiveness comes within. My mom always said to me like this. My mom said to me this before. She said, "Troy," because me and my middle brother, I always told my middle brother, I said, "How is it that you got a cell phone?" I said, "You're a pastor of a church, and you'll call the parishioners of your church, or you're sick and shut in before you even call your brother to say hi." Mm. I said, "That don't make sense to me."
That's heavy.
I said, "It takes what you say?"
I said, "That's heavy."
I said, "It don't make any sense to me." I said, "So do you think if I donate money to you, or if I give money to the sick and shut in, or I tithe with you, would you be able to make a call with me? Because that doesn't make sense. You're a pastor. You are your brother's keeper, right? Follow what you believe in. Don't sit on this phone and sit up here and tell me I should have called you when I was in the hospital when you should have been calling me just checking on me. You understand what I'm saying? So my mom, when I stopped talking to my mom, said to me, Troy, let me ask you a question. She said, how is it that God can forgive you for your sins, but you can't forgive your own brother?
That's
Makes
true.
sense.
I said that's true. But look, we gotta do something. I gotta clear this line a little bit. So first caller, I want to thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the dialogue and the commentary. And I holler back at you. All right. You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
All right.
You too. Bye.
You too. Hello?
Okay. Unfortunately. All right, this is what we're going to do. And then. Hey.
Hello?
Yeah. All right, hold on. I gotta add another call because people were trying to call in when I had both of y'all on the line. But if I had two people on the line, it won't beep another
It won't
person.
allow you to act. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So this is what I want to do. This is what I want. Get this together. Get it together. Right. Hold on. Bear with me just a second. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, they made it easy.
You have a call from.
All right, we good. All right, caller with the last numbers 5639. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Son show. What's on your mind this afternoon? What's good?
Sorry. Oh, bro, don't get that calling me when I'm coming. That great girl watch herself. What is he doing?
Lordy.
Hey, Troy.
What's going on, Kim?
Look, you know her voice. You ain't even have to. I didn't even have to
You
say
ain't got to say nothing. So she say, hey, Troy.
amazing.
That along with the line.
Right?
So, this is a good topic, but it has me thinking, especially now that we all are, the second stages listening. It seemed when we were younger, this issue was more prominent in females. But now that we're older, the question is this something more males deal with now than females, or is it still balanced, or is it still, well, women and men, women who feel this sense of vulnerability, or is it, are men coming to this side of it? Because women tend to be a little more concerned with these things. Of course, when we're younger, we're first having sex and dealing with being with the opposite sex around or whatever. I don't want to exclude anybody, but start having sex or whatever. But now, because it's not even about sex anymore, like you said, this is about just stripping everything down and trusting the person you're with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different now. Does it make us more
anxious, because I know it makes me anxious. Starting a new relationship, getting involved with new people, it makes me very anxious. And some of it is because I'm a little more vulnerable now than I was back then because life has happened. Everything in life sits on us differently as we get older. Some people make them stronger. Some people it makes them hide it more. But I think the average person, we carry these things now. We are so exposed to so much now that it's hard to hide, you know, even with men's sensitivity. I know more men who show a side of sensitivity now than I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm not saying anything against it. I think we all should be able to express just being human. But life has happened so much that I see more men now who have a softer side exposed versus that tough, let me hide everything and keep it inside me. You know, and in my opinion, I think that's part of pillow talk when you are comfortable with somebody. You know, people assume pillow talk is a different form of sex, but it's really not. It's that late night conversation, that intimate conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with sex. It has to do with, you know, hey, today at work somebody really hurt my feelings because they said this, or I'm really missing my loved one today and I had to get in the car and just break down and cry. That kind of thing. It's that. So is it, which gender is really feeling more impacted by that now that we're older is my question for you too. And the chat.
Troy, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I feel as though, I think that, like I said, like the older you get, the more wiser you get and the more understanding you get. I don't think it's more of a gender thing. I think men have vulnerabilities. They just don't show them. A lot of men don't show them in front of women. And their vulnerabilities kick out with them cheating. Like if you're in a relationship, right, and that woman is not showing you love and showing you respect and showing you caring and understanding, their vulnerability comes out through cheating and doing things that they, like even their vulnerability might come through as verbal abuse or being physical or not doing what they're supposed to do for you because they're vulnerable and they don't know how to react or they weren't taught how to react. You know, so the vulnerability, like a woman's vulnerability can come out majority of times when I've seen women or women that I've dealt with, their vulnerability when they felt as though this was occurring, they felt as though cheating was part of the equation. Not realizing though, cheating is not part of anything. Talking and conversating and working things out is the most important thing. Because when you go outside the realms of your relationship, there is no more relationship. There is no more. So the vulnerabilities kick in when you're not getting the love, the respect. You know, a man, just like a woman want to be told they look good after they get their hair done. A man want to be told they look good after they get their haircut done. A man want to be told that they look handsome when they throw that shit on. Just like a woman want to be told that they look beautiful. A man want to be told just like I make it my business to tell all my loved ones, even my friends. Son can tell you. I tell when me and son really got dug in, I told him I love him. When I hang up this phone with son, majority of the time I hang up with him, I say, love you, bro. And I tell you I love you. My wife seen me kiss my male cousin and tell him I love him. She said, why you kiss your cousin? I said, because I've lost people that I didn't tell them I love. I lost a person that was close to me that was like my brother. They got killed over a basketball game, but I didn't get a chance to tell them I love them. So I make it my business to tell everybody that's in contact with me, that's in my circle, that I love them. You understand what I'm saying? I tell my kids I love them every day. Now, as they get older, they tell people they love them every day. I tell my wife, I love you, regardless of the separation or whatever. I tell her I love her because you don't know what can happen throughout your day. I can hang up this phone right now and have a heart attack. She can get a crisis. God forbid anything major happens. So when you tell a person you love them, it's genuine. So that vulnerability of not hearing that or not giving that out to the next person, right, makes you do stupid things or go outside the realm of who you are as a person, and it shows your vulnerabilities. You know, oh, I'm not getting love at home. Maybe when I start talking to this guy, I always tell a woman, and a woman should understand this about a man. Same thing, both sides. Once you give another individual that's not your individual, your heir, then you're pretty much working on ending your relationship. Because if there's something that you're not doing, that he's not doing, that you are, because any man is going to say, when you go to a man and say, well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Oh, well, I would do it, baby. Yes, he's going to say that because he's trying to every bit to get into your drawers. Same thing with a man.
All right.
So, I mean, so you can go ahead and speak, sir.
Okay. I was just going to say,
First elaborate on what I just said. Maybe I might be wrong on something.
no, I mean, there isn't a human being in this world that doesn't like to have some type of, I don't want to say validation, but some positive reinforcement. There isn't no person that doesn't want to be told or made to feel like they are special or like they're important, that they're smart, that they're relevant, and the things that some people might do in order to make those things happen from somebody or some people, differ from people from person to person, but it can show you some of those things can be destructive, like you was talking. And some of those things I want to say are the things that you might try to really hide. You know, whenever I hear somebody say that they don't care what anybody thinks about them, or they don't give a fuck, or when I've heard people, straight up and down express that, love isn't important or whatever, I realize I know where that is coming from. I know where the place of pain that might be coming from, and it's sad. And normally, if you present that to some people, they might get mad at you because, like you judging them or whatever. But what I wanted to say about is from a man's perspective, as far as vulnerabilities are concerned, is especially when you start talking about when it's time to sleep with a woman, a whole lot of things come into play when a man starts to think about spending the night with a woman, whether it's going to be just one night or whether this thing is going to go somewhere, farther along. First of all, he has to if he has grown up in a household where he didn't have sisters or girl cousins, it's going to be different for him. Because if he did grow up with sisters, he's already slept with a girl before. You know what I mean? More than likely, he has slept in a bed with a woman besides his mom. You may have slept at some point, even if it was just a sleeping bag or something like that. You slept with your sister or your girl cousin, so you know what it's like to be next to a woman, even if you're not romantically linked to her. So when you sleep with a woman that you are romantically linked to, those things those experiences with your sisters or your female cousins or whatever significant female that you may have been around in your younger years, that's either going to make or break you, because that experience is what you're going to bring to the table with that woman that you're going to sleep with romantically for the first time. And I mean actual sleep. I'm not even just talking about sex. I'm talking about actual sleep. It's going to have an effect on whether you're going to be able to get some sleep that night or not, because you've either done it before or you haven't done it before. The other thing is, if you grew up in a family where there were a lot of family, where you had a lot of siblings, it can have an effect that you're not used to sleeping by yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you may have never had your own room before. So you're used to sleeping with others in the room, whether it's your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, whatever. You come from a large family. There weren't enough rooms for everybody to have their own room. So you were used to sleeping with somebody night in and night out. that's going to have an effect on a man the first time he ever spends the night with a woman because he's not used to sleeping alone. So he may show his dependence on being with her that night all early, you know what I mean? And she may not have that experience. She could have grew up as an only child. She could have grew up having her own room, always having her own space, not used to having somebody up on her. It's not always men that are pulling women close and, you know what I mean, being all up on them. Some women are like that, and some women are like, they might not be ready for all of that because that's going to expose their vulnerability too. Another thing a man might have to expose his vulnerability to is his fear of the dark. The nigga might straight up be scared of the dark. So it's a real thing. If I had to pull, if
I sleep with a light, I sleep with a nightlight, bro.
Listen, man, I wonder how much of the population, and I mean the entire population of the world, I wonder how many really have a fear of the dark. Because when, let's say you're sleeping with somebody for the first time and you're used to a nightlight, you're used to the TV being on all night. Because that's an easy way for people to cover up whether they are afraid of the dark or not. They leave the TV on all night. Even if the TV is not, even if you don't have the volume up, you might use the TV just for the light. And nobody, and if you got two people who are doing the same thing, it's not going to be an issue. When it's going to become an issue is when you're dealing with a woman who wants that light out. She damn near want the mask over her eyes. You know what I mean? Because she don't want the morning light getting on her nerves. And meanwhile, you like dark. Fuck that. Better turn that TV on. You know what I mean? And why are you closing the door? No. In my house, we ain't never closed the door. Yeah, he's leaving himself open to his fears. We ain't even talk about whether he got skid marks in his drawers or, you know what I mean, don't know to wash his man off if he expect to get head or something like that. We ain't even going to that part yet. We got to deal with the other stuff that he's bringing, the other baggage that he's bringing that may be welcome in the house, and it may not be welcome. So with all of these things, he may be trying to hide these things because he gotta be masculine. He gotta be macho. He gotta be her protector. How a nigga that's scared of the dark gonna protect you against the boogeyman? Ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna happen. And he might feel that way, especially if he's not at his home court. He might be at her crib. They might be at the telly. You know they got them blackout curtains in the telly. He ain't ready for no blackout curtains. He ain't ready. And it's going, you know, so now his man ain't getting hard because he's scared he's gonna get laughed at. This nigga stressed out. He been waiting 8 months to finally, you know what I mean, hit this joint off. Now he up in the Four Seasons. he up in the Four Seasons, and it ain't his season. Duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. Yo, ain't nothing. It might take hours. It might take hours for him to finally get revved up because she got the blackout curtains going on. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is. These are things that you don't always think about, but you have to. They will come into question. They will come into the conversation. You will have to deal with this thing when you start talking about spending the night with somebody. It can be the difference between a long night and a short night. Like I know checkout time is 11 o'clock, you know, in the morning, but we about to get on about it here now. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that money. We out of here. It can cause an uncomfortable situation, especially if you're not able to communicate with whoever you're sleeping with. You can get off to a real bad start with that. So, You know,
see, so let me just say one thing to you.
go ahead.
That's why when I ask a person I ask a person how long it took for you to get engaged to your wife, and I always say it's always a 5 year. I say a person, if a woman is not getting, if that man don't propose to you in 5 years, then you should leave him. I always say that because it takes time for you to get to know every aspect, and that's a man too. If she's not willing to accept you as their husband, that's the same thing. Because it takes 5 years. If you don't learn that person, you don't know this person within 5 years, then what are you doing? What type of game are you playing? Is it just we just gonna be together, lay up together, and you don't want to accept me as your wife or your husband? Because 5 years is enough to learn the smell of that person, if he knows about the light in the dark and all that other aspect, the vulnerability, and if he's bringing baggage from one relationship to another relationship, all that should be addressed within 5 years.
Sometimes it may take longer than that. Sometimes it may take longer than that.
Well, and that's the thing about it. If it's taking long, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
If it's taking longer than that, then the relationship is not being invested in. 5 years, that's a lot of years. It's 365 days in a year. It's a lot of fucking days to get to know a person.
You know what?
Let
me respond to that, Troy, because as you guys are talking, I'm sitting here thinking, and first let me say thank you, son, for this show, because either I've matured or you just opened my eyes with this specific topic. And the reason why I'm saying this, it kind of goes with this, is because I have 3 exes who all tend to be very angry with me now. And they all kind of have the same conversation when they talk to me, and it's because they all say that I wasn't open enough with him, that I didn't expose anything about me to them when they've exposed everything to me, which is crazy because I was friends with each one of them before we even had a relationship. But they all say the same thing in a sense of, as long as I've known you, I never knew this about you, but I exposed everything to you. You've seen me cry when my mother didn't even see me cry, but I didn't know this about you after knowing you for 15 years. So that's why I say 5 may not be long enough, because it just, all of this is making me feel like, damn, they kind of were right, I guess. And probably I need to apologize to these niggas. I don't.
But let me just say this to you, Kim. It's going to be very brief. It's not the fact that you didn't show them. It might be the fact that they wasn't observant or didn't want to hear or listen. So it can't just always be your fault. Sometimes it has to be their fault too.
Well, not necessarily. Hold on. I'm going to take it back to when I said that some things are just personal to you, and you will drop your bags off when you are ready to drop your bags off. You may trust a person with just about everything, but there still might be some shit for you. Now, first of all, Troy, you a Pisces, so you're not going to tell me that anybody knows everything about you. That's what we're not going to do. My dad was a Pisces. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck. There was some shit he just wasn't going to tell.
Well,
he wouldn't care if you put a spike back to his balls.
I'm going to put it like this. 90% of the stuff people know about me. It's that 10% that you won't, that will go to my grave.
All right. So what would it take? What would it take to get that 10% out?
The grave.
Okay, so check this. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Or some real shit. I'm glad you said that because whatever that 10% is for you, it might be some surface 10% for Kim or somebody else. You know what I mean? So we can't audit anybody else's 10%. When she's ready to give, she'll give. But evidently she hasn't found the situation where it was necessary to give. And it might not be that she was holding back. It could be that, well, it's just not needed here. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. No, I understood what you were saying. I understood what you were saying. But I'm also listening to what she's saying. You know, because just like she said, from listening to us, she's going back and thinking like, well, damn, I guess I could have told the boy this, or I could have told the boy that. And I heard what you said. You said to her about, you know, they might not have been deserving. She might not have felt that they were undeserving. She might just not have felt like it was needed. You know what I mean?
Like
sometimes
it's not even surface though.
Not deserving, observing. Maybe they weren't looking or weren't listening. She might have put it out there.
It's not even that, Troy. Sometimes it's not even stuff that's even meant to be secret. Sometimes it's stuff that you hold internally that you don't even realize that might be important to other people, or something that another person notices about you, and they're like, "Dang, she don't even say nothing." So here, I'm going to be vulnerable in this one right now, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, or it didn't seem like a big deal to me until it was, and now it just is a part of my world that tears me up. I never realized how damaging the hurt from family can be. Like,
it can be.
Other people say they're broken. They have trust issues because of a relationship. I have trust issues because of family, and not because I was abused or anything like that. But sometimes when you grow up, family has a way of saying and doing things that sit inside you, and you don't realize it when you're a child. But as you start to grow and develop and mature as an adult, you realize, damn, that was fucked up and that shit hurts me, and now I don't even want you to be a member of my family. You're just related to me. So you don't even realize that sometimes until you grow up and you start looking at it from a different lens. So now you're not the kid who's Ann Arbor with these people who my auntie who was the greatest person, and my uncle was the greatest person, and my grandma was the greatest. You're looking at a lens from them. This is a jackass. Like, I can't believe I looked up to your sucker ass all this long and you were shit. And now you really ain't shit. So you don't realize that maybe to other people they're looking at it and they're like, man, she's damaged, but she's never been in love with somebody. But how the fuck is this chick damaged like this? And it's because of family. And then it spills over into your relationship. And then it's damaging in the relationship. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like when you were talking about cheating, even right now, I have an ex, one of the one who even though he's what I'm here to tell you about him, he still is like, I'm so angry with you. Like, even the chick he's with now, who I believe loves him better than I ever could, he's still not vulnerable with her. Like, I know all his secrets and she doesn't know 10 of them, which is insane to me. Like, something as simple as this guy went to college without trying, he walked away with dual degrees. And she doesn't know this about him. He wasn't trying because she doesn't know how intelligent, he's uber intelligent and she doesn't even know it. But I know. And so when he has those moments, he contacts me. When he wants to say certain things about something bothering, like he lost his best friend. And one day he just texted me 2:00 in the morning. He's like, man, I'm really having a tough time now. I'm like, where's your girl at? He was like, man, she ain't gonna understand this, blah, 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 blah. And I know on the outside looking in, somebody would think that's an open door for him to cheat. Well, it's not an open door here.
But see,
Let me finish. It's not an open door here for him to cheat. However, if it was another kind of woman, maybe a lesser woman, I'll say, it probably would be an open door for some kind of sexual cheating, but never, right. You know what I'm saying? But in a sense, to me, it feels like maybe he is cheating because I know his vulnerabilities, but the woman he sleeps with every night doesn't. Even though in the same breath he's angry at me because he feels like he doesn't know all of my vulnerabilities. So that's where that makes it. And then when even when someone's talking about the part about people sleeping alone, that's another thing. When you talk about people who were raised in a house with a bunch of people and they have a hard time sleeping alone, the toughest thing for me, like my whole life, I've never lived by myself. And by that I mean, even as a mom, I didn't live by myself because I had a kid, and he was a social person, so it was always children in my house, which of course meant other adults more often than not. And my place was the hot spot. However, one day, within the past 5 years, one day somebody's like, "Oh, you finally got the house to yourself." And when they said it, I stopped and really thought about it, and it put me into a complete and total panic mode because all I could think about, this is the first time I've ever been in a house by myself. And I mean completely. And it fucked me up for a minute. That's really what happened. It wasn't even oh yes, freedom. It was, what the hell am I gonna do? There's nobody else here. And it took a long time for me to adjust to it, and I still haven't. So that's something that I'm saying it here now out loud to strangers who are family. That's just the way I can put it. Strangers who are family. But I think moving into a new relationship, that's something I would have to really have this guy understand before we could even have sex, before we could even become intimate. That's the kind of thing we would have to discuss. Like, this is the first of me living by myself completely. I mean, absolutely completely. Not somebody coming to stay for a week or two or a couple of months because they need a place to crash. None of that. I mean, absolutely by myself. And it is very difficult for me. I have a very hard time with it. So that is the part of, I understand this whole show now even more when that's that kind of stuff. You are so close to somebody that they understand those kind of secrets. And these aren't meant to be secrets, but these are things about yourself that you recognize like, man, this is, wow, I didn't even notice this about me, but this is something about me. And how do you explain this to another person unless you're that comfortable with him?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was saying about, and I'm just going to read 1 second, son. That's what I was saying about vulnerability, because when you brought up vulnerability, he's calling you not just for comfortability, but because he's vulnerable, because he's not having the discussion, she's not listening to him, or he's not discussing it with her. And he's more comfortable with you. You give him a comfortability, plus he's vulnerable. So when he comes to you, he's not being just comfortable with you, he's vulnerable. You don't have to be vulnerable with him no more because y'all not in a relationship. He doesn't have to be vulnerable with you, but when y'all was together, you made it so comfortable for him to come and talk to you that now his vulnerability is bringing himself back to you because of you made him comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference. That's the whole situation. Yes, if you was a different woman and you weren't, and thank God that, and first of all, thank you for considering me and son in the podcast family, number one, because I consider you family too. Yes, and just because we put back and we if you weren't that type of woman, yes, other women will feed off of that, especially if they're vulnerable. Because you're vulnerable because you're in a house by yourself, and you could be, that vulnerability can drag them right back to you. But you're being strong enough to say, that's not what I'm trying to do. He has his own situation. I need a new situation, because if I still wanted to be with him, I would be. You got it, son.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, and then we got to get on up out of here. Y'all see that time.
Yeah, 3:41.
So I just want to say this. Not everything is about vulnerabilities, and not everything is about secrets. Like my brother from another mother, Norris Hill, said in the comments. He says some things that are meant to be disclosed on a need to know basis. It's true. Like, you know, if you make soup and the soup tastes perfect, you don't need to add nothing in it. Some people will add stuff in it just because they think that this is supposed to go with it, but you didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody comes along and adds something in that they think is needed when you didn't really think that it was needed, it can cause a communication problem. And one thing about spending the night with somebody, sleeping with somebody on a regular basis, are the things that are important to them start to really, really come out. I titled this show "Close Enough to Them to Hear Their Prayers Go Unanswered," because when you hear somebody, the more you sleep with somebody, the closer you're going to become to them. So you're going to know exactly what is important to them in life. Now, you can pretend like you don't know, or like you haven't been paying attention, or just because they haven't said it out loud, it doesn't matter. But you know, the same way that when you raise your kids, you put your kids to bed, you watch them sleep, and you know what they need, and you provide the things that they need. It's no different with a lover. It's no different. You might put your love to sleep, or your spouse to sleep. You feed them, but you also feed off of them, and you also eat off of them and feed from them. And so it's not a small thing that, you know, a lot of times when people break up from each other, they leave, even though they may not be mad at everything that happened. They may feel unfulfilled in some area that they needed to be filled up, and you may have refused to do it for them, or you just didn't, or you didn't notice it, or you didn't feel the need to fill that void. So we can't always be on the same page. But if you sleep with somebody on a regular basis, actually trust somebody to let them see you sleep, because you know people have done things to people when they've been asleep. They've thrown hot water on them, grits and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? The internet then really made motherfuckers, you know, get treacherous to people in the trust category. But yeah, you know, we don't always get it in real time, the things that people expect from us. And we may even skip over the things that we could have done that we didn't do, because we may not have recognized that's what was needed at the time. But if you do a little self-discovery, more than likely at some point later on, you're going to try to shore up that thing, or make that thing better the next time that you deal with somebody, even if you deal with that same person again. You can't, everything ain't meant to be repaired. Even if you decide to fix it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be repaired, because repaired means different things to different people. The time that you slept with somebody was the time you slept with them. You may not need to sleep with them ever again, or be asleep with them ever again. And that's just how that go. Listen, man, I want to thank y'all both for coming on the show. I want to thank Ann earlier for coming through. I appreciate y'all. As far as I'm concerned, this was very enlightening. You know, this actually, I was going to do this show yesterday. I didn't do it yesterday because I didn't really think people was going to understand what I was trying to say. This one was a little harder. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't the ABC. This was more like the, you know, you had to start getting into pronouns and adjectives and adverbs and all that kind of shit. You had to start learning your spelling lessons on this one. That's what I was thinking. So I almost bailed out of it again today, but I said, no, you know what? Yeah. I'm glad I didn't too, you know. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to have a great day going forward.
Am we getting ready to leave the page? I just want to ask that God lay hands on everybody on this podcast that's going through these trials and tribulations, and give them financial gain and teach it. And hopefully he can lay hands on family members that sick, the children, and everything else. In Jesus Christ our Lord, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Troy.
That's what's up. All right, y'all. I'll get with y'all later. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
All right, love you.
All right, man.
y'all.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Peace. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's do these birthday shout outs and then we got to get on up out of here. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 16th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get. I said they get. I gotta wait for the screen to refresh. I say they get number one out the box. Go get her, my girl Meris Sia Gabrielle. Happy birthday to you, and also my man. Go get her. Also my man Chris Blocker and Jared, my nephew Jared MCN. Happy birthday, and last but not least, Uriel Vasquez. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious March 16th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally, all of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yo, when you sleep together, you are together. Ain't nothing that you can really hide, even the feelings inside. If you're down the ride, hopefully you're sleeping with somebody that restores your pride and keeps you right. Why would you spend the night with somebody you think they're going to steal for real? And it's not about material things, but you shouldn't lay and close your eyes with nobody who ain't a king or a queen. At least in yourself, at least in your eyes, yo, somebody that will give you a prize or make you feel like one. Yo, put the bow on and make sure that you understand. Yeah, the flow is wanted. So you think about the things you keep to yourself, the things you give away, like something to say. Yeah, today might be your day and it might not be, but you got to do what you got to do. And I see a path to freedom, a way to feel better. When you free your heart, you feel like you got a brand new start. And some people stay in situations way too long because they think they with somebody that's really doing wrong. Well, life is learned, and you're going to have to do your thing when it's your turn. It was my turn. I gave somebody else a turn too, but I'm trying to learn you the way you learn me too. It's going to be all right, but at the end of the night, if you get to wake up feeling fresh, no less, say less. Matter of fact, say no more. Everything is going to be okay. Let's raise the score. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, Monday, going into Tuesday for another Daily Go Getimism show. 2 a.m. in the morning. Y'all know on the weekends we here 1:30 p.m. But on the weekdays we are 2 a.m. So even if y'all don't catch it live, make sure you catch the rebroadcast because we be spitting that heat, coming through with that fire. You know what I mean? People like Kim and Troy, they don't sleep, so they be here. People like TK, right? Well, she be here for a hot minute. You know what I mean? She be having a lot. People got to work in the morning. I understand. You know what I mean? I get it. I get off 1 in the morning. It ain't nothing for me. And my people's from overseas. It's all good. And people on the West Coast, they good with it. Yo, y'all have a great day. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. Before we get out of here, let's take a look at the poll. The poll question, 18 votes was, is it hard for you to fall asleep around someone new? 83% of people said yes. You're like, yo, man, I don't know about all that sleeping. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can do it, But I don't know about all that sleeping, you know? Yeah, and make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler back at y'all. Peace. Salute.